Well, Terry, after about a month off, we're live and we are broadcasting to the people once again.
I don't know who's been off. I've not been off. Have you been?
Okay. A month of not recording Top of the World. How's that? I've been there. I've been busy. You've been busy. But the people have spoken and they have been asking for Dave and Terry to do their thing again. We've got a new DVC president. We've got a bunch of Disney news, and we're going to talk it all. And as you see behind me, if you are, well, we're all live now. If you're listening to us on the podcast, you're not going to hear this part. But as you see behind me, you're going to get to critique my choices for food at Disneyland, because in a little over a month, I'll be walking the streets of Walt. So, Terry, you ready to hit the button?
Man, I'm ready to roll. Let's do this thing. We can do it. We're going to have to keep this a tight hour. So,
yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. All right, you ready? Here we go. Hitting the button.
This is Top of the World, the Disney Vacation Club podcast. A proud part of the WDW Today and Laugh-O-Gram Studios family. Join us as we talk parks, points, perks, and all things DVC, and how to get the most out of your membership. Here they are, Dave Adams and Terry Weaver.
well, as you've heard, you are listening to Top of the World, the DVC podcast. I'm Terry Weaver.
I'm Dave Adams. Hello there.
And we're back, or we're here. I don't know that we went anywhere.
Well, we haven't been in front of each other recording in a long time. I mean, the last time we were recording, we had the DVC resale experts on. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a hot minute.
Yep. You've had a little thing.
Yeah, we had a Nashville thing this weekend.
Yeah.
We had some. I wore a shirt in honor of themed towards some of our special surprise guests that we had kind of hanging out with us.
Did Ryan ever go talk to him?
Yeah, we had. He was going to come back and ended up having a conflict. So.
Okay.
Rumor has it the galaxy may assemble him elsewhere. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know we definitely had a good time, and yeah, man, it was a good weekend. We just had the Nashville thing, or I call the stages, pages, and wages for authors and speakers. It was a lot of fun, and Logan strolled in for the first session and was like, "I'm going to bring some folks with me," and like one of those folks was James Arnold Taylor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi,
And so I said, hello there.
in Clone Wars, and yeah, it was fun. I was about to do an Obi-Wan reference and from the new series, and said, I'm gonna hold off on this illustration / talk for this time around. So
probably a good idea with him there.
I'm sure he would have totally been cool with it, other than the fact that it wasn't him. But
well, because Ewan's the better Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a human.
Well, and I'll say this: Ewan McGregor's better than Alec Guinness. That's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, if you've not been watching the Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus, by the way, since Dave and I have last recorded, I did finally watch the Book of Boba Fett, and that may have been not why I didn't want to talk to Dave, because anybody that didn't beg me to watch that is kind of a jerk face. So
hey, I begged you to watch it, dude.
Dude, nobody told me what was gonna. I just thought it was. They really shouldn't have called that the Book of Boba Fett. They should have called that a couple episodes about Boba Fett, and then the rest of the Mandalorian you've been waiting for.
Yeah, it was Mando 2.5.
Yeah, which isn't how they sold it, which really bums me out.
Although I do like that we got a lot of backstory for Boba Fett.
Yeah,
we found out how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, which it made comic books. What was comic book legends? It made it canon. So I'm digging what Dave Filoni's doing. And for those of you who say that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is not good, get off it, man. This has been amazing.
And here's the deal, dude. It fandom is a weird thing.
It is. We've said this a lot about Disney fans.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, sometimes it's justified, but the jerk face. Is there an actress in this series whose acting leaves a little bit to be desired? Probably.
Maybe.
But this
People
is
said that about
Star
Hayden
Wars.
Christensen too.
Listen to me, people. This isn't Shakespeare. This isn't, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Although I'd love to see an Andrew Lloyd Webber Star Wars musical.
That would be awesome.
Especially a la Phantom.
Yeah.
The Dark Phantom.
So,
but I mean, come on. And here's the deal. At some point, it's and Dave and I are probably going to go down some rabbit holes. There's been all kinds of crazy tomfoolery Disney news today too.
Yep.
But just learn to enjoy things.
I am so mad at myself that it took me so long to find this quote. Quote I posted yesterday, Terry. You liked it on my Facebook page. Director Brad Bird, who snuck into a screening of Empire Strikes Back many, 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 many years ago. And he said, and this is perfect. This explains fandom then and explains fandom now. The point is not that I or any other fan agree with every single choice George has made in telling his epic saga. The point is that we care.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing to care about the people that make it and the stories that are told. It's another thing to just be a jerk face for no reason.
Exactly.
Which is the reason why there was no Star Wars stories for years. Because if you were George Lucas, why would you want to put yourself through the abuse and hate from the community? And I get it. The powers that be at Star Wars and Marvel and the Disney company, they are running a business, and sure, they make some questionable decisions. I won't argue that, but at some point, randomly today, the Disney owned Star Wars trilogy has been on TNT, and I happened to turn it on while I was working on some travel. Because I haven't had a chance to book my travel for this weekend and what we were doing. So luckily I have status with some hotels that give me guaranteed reservations.
There you go.
But dude, it's just, those weren't bad either. Just go enjoy them. Now I will say, it does feel like we've gotten back to that great, rich Star Wars storytelling that you and I grew up on that we love. Sure. Are there some plot holes? Yeah. Are there? Does this make me believe that we may see what it sort of makes me believe, Dave? And we actually sort of saw this announced out of Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to tie this into Parks News.
Good. Okay.
We're starting to see Galaxy's Edge 1.5.
Yep.
Where you're starting to see finding ways to get other stories into Batuu.
Which I love. Absolutely.
Yes, I want to go see those characters. I want to see moving droids. I want to see random characters with head tails and or like the character that Zach Braff played in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'd love to see that character walking around. And as McNair, as my buddy who's been at my house all week, McNair Wilson calls it Galaxy Springs.
Why?
Because Disney went through a period of time where everything was named Springs. They had Saratoga Springs, Coronado Springs, and then they renamed Disney Springs. Downtown Disney to Disney Springs, which he helped name Downtown Disney at Disneyland. So he's obviously not going to like it.
Understood.
So, but yeah, he's got a name for everything. But you can replace any word in the Disney universe with Springs, and Disney's sort of done that. I mean, there's a ton of them. But anyways, I love seeing that we're going to see the Book of Boba Fett characters, and Mando and Grogu are coming.
Yep.
You know, if you can hold the child.
Oh, if I hold the child and he goes in my arms, I will fanboy. I will fanboy as much as I did when I shook Chewie's hand.
Yeah,
for the first time.
You're gonna have something in your eye, Dave. I'm a little concerned.
I'll have something in my eye when I turn the corner in Main Street and see this small, atrocious castle behind me.
You know what? You won't. But the fire, if you go in to Disneyland, find the fire station and find Walt's light,
I will have a tear there
for you.
Yep. You're right. All right, so let's get into it. Do we want to talk news first, or do we want to talk what I've done for Disneyland first?
Let's talk news and get it out of the way.
Okay. So the elephant in the room today is Bob Chapek fired who many saw was his successor in 2023 today. What are your thoughts on this, Terry?
Same thing Iger did. Iger fired Skaggs.
Yeah.
I am going to go out on a limb, and I have a theory that we actually discussed this weekend with a bunch of Disney nerds hanging around my house. I think our buddy Ryan Street might have been the plant. He was here with his wife, and his wife Jennifer did an amazing job speaking at the thing. Awesome. With no voice, mind you. But that Chapek is just that he's just a placeholder
for who?
For whoever's next. That the company is basically using Chapek as the evil dark Sith Lord to remove all of the magic and all of the things that were high cost and low profit. And then someone else is going to be positioned to come in and save the day. I am still of the position that the Walt Disney Company desperately needs a chief creative officer.
I agree.
And if Chapek would just humble himself to that, and it was someone who had a little bit of knowledge, McNair actually had a good theory. And we rented a theater on Saturday night before the event started. We had a VIP day of everyone that kind of comes in for some extra cool stuff, and we went to go see Top Gun.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, such a great movie. And as a fan of film of any kind, go see that movie. As an American, go see that movie. It's a movie that we need this story right now. We need a little faith and patriotism.
Yep.
And fantastic film. But
dare I say it's better than the first one?
Dare I say better than the first one, which is hard to believe. Maybe with the music the music has the same problem that Tangled has, where it's just a little under the bar. The Gaga song is just a little.
Are you telling me you don't like the Tangled music? Oh, this is another story we're going to have to get into later, because that's a rabbit hole.
Well, no, the Tangled music is good. There's just no big power ballad of a song.
At Last I See the Light. When Will My Life Begin? Mother Knows Best.
It's a B+.
Oh, dear Lord.
It doesn't even beat Hakuna Matata.
And y'all are now seeing why we've been gone for a month, folks.
But Jerry Bruckheimer would be somebody amazing to get as the head of the studio side of things. Did we lose the studio person, or we just lose a TV person?
We just lost
big guys today.
Yeah, so I think it's just the TV person by what I've seen. Let me pull that up and get some confirmation for you.
And the board today gave Chapek a vote of confidence, which let's be honest, the board is never going to make a statement that would tank its stock prices.
Right.
Which without having a replacement named. So I don't put any weight behind that conversation.
To me, a vote of confidence is just a board giving you a vote of confidence is just like an athletic director giving his coach a vote of confidence. You know that usually means you're getting fired.
Yeah, this is very much like I feel like the Galactic Senate has met.
Right, exactly. So Peter Rice was fired.
Jar Jar Binks is going to be Josh tomorrow is going to have to come in. Somebody make me a Josh tomorrow Jar Jar matchup, please.
That'd be great. So Peter Rice, the head of
You
TV.
need to fix the pox.
What?
No.
Oh.
I said user need to fix the pox, Mr.
The
Chapek.
pox. So it also strikes me very odd that you're firing your TV guy when TV has been floating Disney for a long time.
Oh, I mean, is Disney Plus under TV?
I thought that it was.
No, I haven't researched that. Can I be real?
Yeah.
Until Chapek's gone, it doesn't really even matter. These are just. There was a bunch of shakeups a couple weeks ago that Josh announced, where we have a new DVC. There's a saying that Walt used when Walt Disney was still alive, that when you were in a creative meeting with Walt, the last thing he wanted to hear was second floor thinking. Yeah. And the second floor at the old lot and the building where they all were, where you could literally walk in Walt's footsteps. Second floor was the accounting department. And second floor thinking is what Walt believed would crush the company.
Well, second floor thinking was
shifted to second floor thinking.
Yeah.
The guy running the DVC now, or the girl, both of the new positions, because there's kind of two. There's kind of like a EV executive vice president, EVP, and then a director of the DVC. Both of them come from an accounting bean counter background.
Yeah.
One person has been counting beans at Disney, or working in Uncle Scrooge's basement for 20 years.
Wow.
And so, like, I mean, I don't know why you'd want to someone. I mean, if someone wants to educate me, on why you think a bean counter is a good call for running the DVC, and we even talked about this last time we had our guests on. The part of the problem with Disney is they don't see they see DVC members as a one-time transaction, not the fact that we have so much more disposable income available to us because we're not spending anything else. We're just dumping our money into the parks.
Right, exactly.
And the gift shops when there is merchandise to purchase. Yeah, we're sure not dumping it into shopdisney.com, which I tried to buy something today and I was like, oh, they're all gone. Every one of them, every variety of.
What are you trying to buy?
When the last episode, when I finally went and watched Book of Boba Fett, I was like, I don't have any lightsaber swag. I haven't built one. I went with Logan when he built one.
Yeah.
I've had the experience, right? But I really want a Yoda lightsaber.
You want the tiny one?
I want the tiny one just because that scene was super emotional for me.
Right.
Because I'm really passionate. If you guys have ever heard me on my Making Elephants Fly podcast, I'm really passionate about legacy, which is why when I'm talking about Walt, I talk a lot about Walt, and which is why I'm really excited you're going to Disneyland, because I think you're going to catch the bug.
Oh, I've caught the bug, dude. I've always caught it.
But Disneyland's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, I know. So, all right. See, now you're going to get me on a rabbit hole. I think Luke was wrong in offering Yoda's lightsaber to Grogu.
Well, sure.
Totally wrong.
I think he was wrong in the choice.
Right. He could have done both.
Yeah, which I think we may.
We'll see eventually.
Yeah, we'll see eventually. But
so anyway, all right. So other news.
I'm wearing a Falcon shirt tonight.
Yeah. Other news, Terry, you've seen the pictures. The train is on the track.
Yeah, dude, I saw the train on the track today. There was the fine, dude. Can we call out the Disney sites, folks? The fan blogs, the Disney food blog, Inside the Magic. I'm calling you out right now. The amount of clickbait that's coming out of the Disney community. There was a post about the comeback of something. It was on Disney food blog. Let me see what it was today.
Well, there was one. It wasn't just today, but there was one last week that said Disney Park has to shut down again, and it was Paris. But the main picture was Disneyland.
Oh yeah, dude, they're all being It was about, I'll tell you what it was about. It was a whole post that basically said, the opening timeline announced for the Roundup Rodeo barbecue restaurant at Walt Disney World. You know what's not mentioned in the article? The opening date.
Right.
Which, I mean,
I don't think there is one yet.
there isn't one. I mean, Bob Chapek, bless in the most southern way possible.
Bless his
Bless
heart.
his The man clearly, and our buddy Josh, doesn't have access to a calendar. Like, you look at a calendar, you pick a date, and you say, not sometime in, you pick a date. So,
right.
And here's my deal, dude. Like, I get it. Like, Dave, you've used this excuse. You've defended the company.
I have.
Over, at some point, we have to stop blaming everybody and their brother. At the end of the day, the parks were closed down for less than 3 months. It's time for all of this nonsense to be back to normal.
I can agree with that.
Let's quit talking about parking lot trams. Let's get them all open.
We still have, I think once we get people from other countries back into Epcot, we'll get the remaining restaurants that aren't open up. And I think that will also free up the people that are working in the countries at Epcot. It'll free them up to go back to their original jobs. I think that you will get all that other stuff coming up once the exchange.
We're a couple of weeks away from Hoop-de-Doo.
Right.
But then again, at the same time, we've killed the luau.
I'm okay with that though, because the luau,
because of what's coming with another entertainment offering.
You're not, because the luau is going to be where the luau is.
I didn't say you had to put something in its space. I'm saying somewhere on the 55 square miles.
Okay.
Find a spot and maybe some parking.
Oh, we don't need more parking. What are you talking about?
Don't provide any transportation to it. Make it where people have to hitchhike there.
Well, speaking of transportation, that's another thing coming back in 3 weeks. Basically, the week after I leave Disney World, the minivans are coming back.
Yeah,
and that is another amazing piece of transportation that's coming back. When they come back, we will not have the airport option yet, but starting somewhere down the road, that will be another option to get you from the airport to Walt Disney World property, unless you're like Terry and just rent a car when you're there.
Which, let's talk about car rentals right now in Orlando.
Yeah. I got one for in a couple weeks when I'm down there.
I hope it gets better, but you and I are about to start we're about to own a minivan together in Orlando or something, man. Good gracious.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. I went through Avis. I was fine with Avis.
Yeah, well, I'm renting a car to go to Atlanta this weekend just because I didn't want to put miles on my car.
Right.
And it's almost back to pre-pandemic pricing for off airport locations. So I'm hoping. I mean, dude, Orlando, they had a ton of rent cars. Orlando isn't just the pandemic; it's the pandemic combined with the fact that Disney took away the number one piece of transportation that people use to get to the parks. And travel agents.
You're going to get me on my soapbox. Disney didn't take it away. Mears did.
Well, no. Disney could have replaced Mears with another company or agreed to terms with Mears.
It was more expensive. They were raising their cost, and Disney wasn't going to be able to keep it for free.
So make it $100. People would still pay for it.
Oh, I agree with that. I do agree with that. They could have,
or hide it in the, honestly, why don't they just hide that in the parking in the fees, and they would.
Yeah,
they could hide those back in the rooms. People would quit complaining about it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what it is? I don't care what Disney charges. Well, I do, but what I really get upset about is the nickel and dime and the upcharges and the plus and the this and the that and the this and the extra and the You want a parking spot that doesn't require a hip injury on the way to walking somewhere? You know, like I mean, I don't. I mean, it's just. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. I do.
and dude, this isn't. There's a difference between the fans that are complaining that like, oh yeah, the new Guardians roller coaster, it's just an updated, Space Mountain.
Well, those fans need to shut up.
Shut your face. I've not even been on it, but I can tell you enough. Space Mountain, you know what it doesn't do? Go backwards. You know what's not in Space Mountain? Video. So shut up. Like, man,
Logan went on it today, didn't he?
I ate my Wheaties this morning.
I'm excited for this. Logan went on today, didn't he? I hadn't heard from him, but I think
he's from today either.
I know he's at Epcot.
Yeah, I don't know if he got. I don't know if he got a boarding group.
Oh well, maybe he paid for Lightning Lane.
Exactly.
Probably not. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, minivan, train, new DVC. Oh, Big Blue and Beyond, the Nemo musical comes back next Friday.
I hope it's good.
I think it will be.
And then
Hoop-de-Doo starts in a couple weeks.
Monkeys are coming back.
Yep. We saw the Hoop-de-Doo
it's
menu.
No longer the celebration of the Lion King the musical or whatever it was called there for a while.
It's the full thing now.
Yeah.
So are you excited about the Hoop-de-Doo menu? Have you gotten a chance to look at it yet?
It's the same, isn't it?
It is the exact same alcohol menu. Other alcohol is still free. The extended menu, you still have to pay a little. You pay a little bit extra for, which I'm okay
for what?
With.
What's different?
Like canned beers, local craft beers, and a couple of mixed drinks instead of. So you still get your draft beers, which your Bud Lights, your Coors Light, your Yingling. You still get sangria. You still get a wine, but you can get. I think they had the J. Ali, the cigar light or whatever it is. They've got an IPA, a couple of IPAs. They had a.
Dude, if you're DVC, just get this stuff delivered to your room and drink it in your room on your balcony.
Exactly. Wait, you can deliver beer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's alcohol companies that deliver in Orlando.
You just made my night, sir.
Yeah. And I'd highly recommend Logan and I did this one time because of schedule. We flew into Tampa. If you're a beerman, which I have a love-hate relationship. I don't like most beer. But we did go to Cigar City Brewery, which is a really cool stop. It's literally right by the Tampa airport.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that stop if you enjoy the suds.
Okay.
And sometimes it's cheaper to go into Tampa.
Yeah, well, especially now that my best friend lives in Lakeland, much closer to Tampa. So,
did your boy move out of Orlando and he's commuting from Lakeland?
Well, he's remote now.
Oh,
so
yeah,
but
might as well live in Lakeland.
Exactly right, bigger town.
It's honestly Lakeland to Walt Disney World might actually be quicker than Lake Nona.
You're not wrong. But
granted, you're on the turnpike for one. Or the toll road versus I-4.
I'd rather be on the toll road than I-4.
Well, that's so, Lake Nona. But,
yeah. Anyway, all right. So those news, I'm trying to think of the other news we've got to talk about before.
I'll look at. I mean, I'm just going to look through the news sites and see if there's anything that is remotely important.
I'm trying to think
Probably
what all we talked about last, because on my Go Gal Travel podcast, we talked about a bunch of news last night. I'm trying to remember what we talked about. Minivans.
There's a Big Thunder Mountain board game coming out. That's kind of fun.
Ooh, that's cool. Anyway, so we'll get into it while you're looking, Terry.
Tron's coming along.
Yeah, there's a rumor that that will be here by fall. I mean, they've already started putting cars on the track and putting them down.
I better stop eating because I'm too fat for Tron.
Oh, if you can get on Flight of Passage, you can get on Tron.
I can't get on Flight of Passage.
Really?
My calves are too chubby. Everything else fit, but my chubby calves.
Oh, well. We'll see about that. I bet you can
get a calf reduction.
You go into that first doctor's appointment. Now tell me why you want a calf reduction. I want to fit on Tron. Anyway, all right. So
there's lots of yammering about the Reedy Creek thing still going on. Nothing really happening there.
Nothing's going to happen with that, y'all.
They're going to kiss and make up.
Yep.
They have to.
They have to.
I mean, why would they not?
Yep. All right. So moving on, as y'all know, in about,
and you know, we should talk about before we move on.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course.
I accidentally picked this up at Kroger of all places. It was mispriced, but it rang up the right way. I got me a giant Lightyear.
Ooh.
It was like 10 cents.
That's awesome.
I don't know what happened, but I wasn't gonna ask questions. It rang up. It's like, yeah, that's what it rang up as, and I'm like, okay.
So Lightyear, PG-13.
Oh.
It just came out today. It will be rated PG-13.
Oh.
They say because there are some overt.
Did they get a little
characters? And it is some intense fighting. So, and you know, I've long heard about this movie, and I've heard that it was not going to be your kiddie Buzz Lightyear. This was actually going to be
it's a movie about the man that the toy is made after.
Right. So it's basically going to be an action cartoon. This will be your teenage cartoon. So I get what they're doing. I'm going to have to explain to my daughters why you can't go see Buzz Lightyear without your parents seeing it first. But I get it. It's they're making movies for our generation. Thank you, Jeffrey. I was trying to say that without saying that.
What did he say?
There's a same-sex couple in it. I was trying to be politically correct when I was.
I'm not sure how. I mean, it's 2022.
Yeah, it's not a. Here's what I'm going to say about that.
Your kids are going to see that anyways. Don't be mad at Disney because they're
right. Exactly. Now, if they're going to throw it in our face, then we might have some issues. But if it's just in the movie, it's in the movie. It's what we're going to see. So,
and as a former youth pastor and a wife that was a children's pastor, let me tell you this much. The benefit of being able to have those conversations with your kids, not just about what you think is right and wrong, but also about loving people and tolerating those that we might not disagree with, is a conversation you'd much rather have on the couch at home or outside of a movie theater in a car ride home than to have the public school system do on your behalf. So, you know, I was never one of those people that said, hey, you should just, when you have an experience like that, have a conversation when things happens that may not line up with your beliefs or your moral compass. You know,
use it as a growing experience.
It's a conversation that you're going to have that I think is much better than the school system having on your behalf. There's our moment of today's section of Focus on the Family.
Yeah, there you go. See, we can get political and still be nice. All right. So,
I'm sure we offended someone.
Yes.
On either side of the aisle.
Yeah. Jeffrey said, I was just meaning, I think that's why they had to rate it PG-13 in part, aside from the cartoon violence, not judging either way. Of course, no one's judging. No one is saying that. I think it's just going to be like Beauty and the Beast was. It's going to be a much ado about nothing.
Yep.
So Terry's tired over here.
Well, I'm tired from having to think about defending Josh Gad again. So
yeah, Josh Gad is a treasure. He is a national treasure.
He's a dang national treasure.
And should be treated as such. All right. So as y'all know,
preserved in bronze.
I don't know about that. In 40-something days, I will be going on a cruise to Alaska, and on our way back, Amanda and I will be going to Disneyland. We've got 3 days in the beautiful, sunny California.
And
And
you're staying at the Grand Californian,
we are staying at the Grand Cal,
which is arguably the best DVC resort there is.
really.
Well, dude, I mean, location.
Okay, yeah, you can open up, go straight to.
And dude, I mean, it is gorgeous. It's a little smaller than some others,
Right.
but
So
I'm still scrolling through news just to see if there's anything we've missed as you keep
well, you're going to need to be paying attention for this, Terry, because this is
I'm
where you
paying
have.
attention. I'm just scrolling through news.
Yeah, this is
I'm
going
only
to
back 5 days ago.
This is going to be where you tell me how wrong I am. Friday we get in about 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
And this is a no chillins on this trip.
This
no
is a no
kids.
chillins on this trip. So we will go straight to Grand Cal. I've got tickets for Disneyland that day. We will, and then
Do you have hoppers or no hoppers?
we do have Hopper, and I did Genie Plus. But we have, I found out that you cannot get Napa Rose on the app. You have to actually call the restaurant itself. I do have 6:35 reservations for myself and Amanda at Napa Rose.
Do yourself a favor. He's a friend of mine. I
Mhm.
will send him a message with you on it. My friend Michael Cox, who's been Orange County's #1 server of the year multiple times.
If he's please tell me he's working that night, and
Yeah,
have him.
I will find out and request him.
Perfect. That would be awesome.
And the best thing to do is go in and request him when you get there.
You said Michael
Cox.
Okay, I can remember that.
He's
Actually,
a fantastic server. The menu was still very limited there when I was there last time.
right.
Also, my favorite Walt Disney dining location.
Okay, so you're going to have to tell me what I should eat. It's a
Smiling
rotational
Tiger
menu.
salad.
Oh, really? A salad?
Yes.
Okay.
It is short rib Korean style with fried lobster balls.
And that's for my entree?
For your appetizer.
That's an appetizer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking up their current menu to see what's on there. One of the best steaks. You know, actually, I had the pot roast there, and it was absolutely amazing.
It's hard for me to order a pot roast anywhere.
I'm just telling you.
Outside,
I had it. Jeff Barnes, Dr. Disneyland, who was with me, had it.
Yeah.
It was. You asked what I said to order.
I did. Okay, so pot roast.
Let me see what the mains are right now.
The tiger salad.
Right now it is. They have a prime ribeye and braised top cap with porter. Yeah, and it was this cheddar whipped mashed potatoes.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, prime ribeye, or so it's prime rib basically.
Yeah,
and then they have a fillet right now. They have a chicken. They probably have a fantastic fish. Let me see if they still have the Smiling Tiger. Yeah, they have the Smiling Tiger. The duck that they have for an appetizer is amazing. If their pizzas are back, those are always fantastic. They haven't been back.
Should I get a pizza?
They didn't even have freaking bread last time I was at Napa Rose, dude. And they have the best bread service out there for sure.
So Napa Rose on Friday night.
Now, honestly, my favorite Disney restaurant, it did not return from the pandemic and they have closed it, and that was Steakhouse 55 at the Disneyland Resort. There was just something about that felt like where Walt would have eaten.
I've heard that they're reopening it.
Huh?
I've heard a rumor that they're going to reopen that.
I hope so.
So Saturday, I ran into quite a conundrum. I had Carthay Circle, but I looked at the menu prices and also looked at Napa Rose and kind of got cold feet. So
have you kept Carthay?
I can get it. It's still there if I wanted to.
Get it.
Even
you're not going for the food, you're going for the experience.
But the menu prices are outrageous.
Same chef.
From Napa?
Yes. The
So if
same
I've had,
chef, Andrew Sutton, does
Okay.
Club 33, Napa
Okay.
Rose, and Carthay Circle.
but here's where I'm a little.
Let me look and see what you're talking about. They
Well,
don't even
here
have the menu prices. Where are you seeing the menu prices?
I'm googling it other places.
Because it's not even on the website.
Oh, I know. But here's my conundrum. Blue Bayou opens up. You can't get a reservation. You just have to go walk up.
You're not going to be able to.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Blue
And
Bayou is an experience you should have.
oh, I know. That's why I want to try to possibly just do Blue Bayou. Now, I won't be able to because that's my California Adventure Day. I could theoretically do that for dinner and hop back over to Disneyland and try to do Blue Bayou for dinner.
That's a good option.
We had also on one of the reservations I had was Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen at Downtown Disney. Or down and I know, but if you know anything about me and my wife, we're huge fans of New Orleans, huge fans of Cajun food. Which is also why I want Blue Bayou.
Now here's a mistake that a lot of people make when they go to Disneyland. The quick service food in the Disneyland Resort is significantly better than it is specifically the Wharf in California Adventure area, and New Orleans Square has some pretty good solid.
Okay.
Although you're going to be there, it could be warm. So a bread bowl may not filled with soup or gumbo may not be
Probably not a great idea. And then Sunday.
You're right, dude. The prices are a little strong.
Yeah, a little strong is a
But
kind
dude, I mean,
word.
it's Disney. You
I know.
will get a discount at Carthay that you won't get at Napa with your DVC card.
Oh, really? I won't be able to get a Napa DVC discount?
No.
Okay. And then Sunday,
Dude, even if you just go in there
just for the experience to see
just
it,
for the experience and have some apps and
maybe
a
sit at the
dessert
bar.
and a old fashioned,
Yeah, I'm good.
And here's the deal with Disney dining, folks. I'm gonna go, folks.
Oh,
You get to do what you want. Like, you're not stuck.
Carthay over Napa.
Who's saying that?
I'll have to go and look at who it is on our Facebook.
You sit on a throne of lies, whoever you are. Carthay is a dining is a destination. It's cute. It's fun. Napa is a whole dining experience, especially if you do the chef's table or have a really great server. The wine list, if you are able to get Michael or another server, let them make, it's all California wine. Let them make the suggestions.
Yeah, that's Heather Andriasio. Did I say it right this time, Heather? She says for experience, not food.
Yeah. Okay. She saved herself. Dude, the molten chocolate caramel cake at Carthay is amazing.
But anytime, okay, when I see that, I'm just thinking, okay, that's it's that molten lava cake you get at Chili's. I know it's not, but that's kind of.
Although I did eat at Chili's with a big group, and it was one of the best dining experiences I've ever had at a Chili's before. I don't know if someone told Chili's that they were about to go out of business and they took themselves seriously or not. We had a great server, hot food, and you can hate me if I'm wrong. The chips and salsa at Chili's are just near perfection.
You are correct about that, sir. Anyway, for Sunday we have park reservations for Disneyland, but I found a good Lamplight Cafe as our closing food option. So what's your thoughts on Lamplight?
I like it.
Okay.
I don't like it as my closing.
What would you say should be my closer? Is that where I try to get Blue Bayou?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should do a signature experience.
I thought Napa's my signature.
Well, I mean, Napa, sure. But Blue Bayou is what day of the week are we talking?
Sunday night.
That's the busiest day at Disneyland.
Is it?
Yeah, busiest time
Okay.
potentially, depending on if passes are blocked or not.
Right.
And it's the kind of thing you may just need to go there when they open and get on reservations for later in the day. I don't know how they're working. When
That's
does it
true.
reopen?
I don't know the exact date. Let me Google.
We need Google Music or a Google sound effect.
Actually, hold up. I can do something.
Just Google.
You like my Googling music?
I'll take Blue Bayou for 500. That's not the Jeopardy question. That's what it's going to cost you to eat there now.
Yeah. All right. So it says we'll begin phased reopening in June.
Once again.
I know.
Now? June 30th?
It doesn't say the exact.
Just please move on to something else.
It says early June. So
please move on to something else. It ceases to be early June tomorrow, in my opinion. But please continue before I throw something. So
here is my question for you and for those in the comment section. Who are Friday night Napa Rose? I'm probably going to miss a fireworks show.
Yes.
Will I be able, if I can get a seat next to a window, will I be able to see anything?
I mean, maybe a little, barely.
Okay. So my park reservation on Saturday.
You're hopping, so it doesn't matter. You can always go back and see it.
I get
you literally do 200 yards.
What's the most important one for me to go see?
Yes.
World of Color,
yes.
or Disneyland Forever?
Yes.
Can I do them both in one night?
You can do Fantasmic at Disneyland Forever in one night. You probably can't do World of Color. I don't know what you're there 3 nights.
Right. If I miss Fantasmic.
What day are you there? June what?
22
Let me
through
pull up my
22, 23, and 24. We fly out Monday morning, the 25th.
I mean, you should have pretty late fireworks. Dude, the Disneyland Electrical Parade.
Oh, that's a must. It will make me sad. I will shed a tear because we need that back at Magic Kingdom.
So June what?
22, 23, and 24. 22 is my Napa Rose, so that night's probably out.
Park is open till midnight.
Oh, okay.
I don't know I don't know what time the.
Yeah, they don't have the times for the fireworks or anything like that yet. For anybody that's been to
Disneyland is open till midnight every night, and California Adventure is open till 1 a.m. 10 p.m. every night.
Till 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Okay. Whew, I'm going to have to drink a lot of coffee.
You've got a pretty big down. Probably the most important thing I would tell you to go do is make sure you go ride Pirates. But Pirates is down.
Yeah, and Hyperspace Mountain will be the overlay when I'm there. So
I'm not going to complain about that. Tarzan's Treehouse is down you've got 3 things down right now: Nemo, Pirates, and Tarzan's Treehouse. Nemo, you're not missing anything in my opinion.
Is that basically the same ride at Epcot?
It's like, imagine the really cool part where they project Nemo on real live fish.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
Oh, okay.
But you are basically the original. You're in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea-ish.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you're in a submarine, but the pandemic's kind of over, and who wants to be in a submarine full of...
I don't want to be in a submarine even if there wasn't a pandemic. Yeah, I'm excited. Toontown. I haven't seen Mickey's Toontown or whatever it was.
Is Toontown open?
I thought it was.
I think Toontown has actually has been taken off the map.
Has it? Okay. See, shows how much I've actually started planning my approach for this.
I
I
think
need to do
Toontown
that.
is full on closed for. I might be wrong.
Well, here I'm pulling up the map as we speak.
Yeah,
Good
they've
grief,
taken
they
down
are right across the street from each other.
Dude, it's a 2-minute walk.
All right, there's that. The Matterhorn. I'm not. Here's something. I'm actually not excited about riding the Matterhorn. There's a 30-minute wait right now to ride the Toontown Railway.
Well, heck, dude, it's 55 minutes to ride Matterhorn right now.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's 7:20.
So Heather says Small World's a must. Agree. That is a must. I
Yes.
have to do that.
Yeah, Toontown's off the map right now, dude. Not on
It
the map
sure
at all.
is. Okay. I'll walk through Batu, but I'm not going to try to get on a Rise of the Resistance queue just because I've done it. And it's the same ride.
Identical.
Yeah, it's identical. I'll
I mean, there might be someone's going to tell me that there's 9 less stormtroopers, or there's one more turn in the who to who.
maybe.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. So Amanda doesn't ride any roller coasters or any drop rides. So I'll have to ride Splash Mountain by myself, and that's a single one, right?
So I'm going to give you the Disneyland tour as you
Okay.
should do it. You need to walk into Disneyland, stop, enjoy the moment that the light's on, and remember that that's where it's there to remind us that Walt's still in the park.
Right.
Do what Walt would have done and go upstairs to the train station and ride a Grand Circle tour.
All the way around the park?
All the way, a Grand Circle tour. And then if you want to go to Frontierland, or if you want to get off and walk up Main Street, but you got to do the train track first.
Okay.
You got to do the Grand Circle tour. One, it'll just give you, it'll get you the layout of the land, and 2, it's what Walt would have done.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's so weird.
Now,
what's this
Plaza
Royal...
Restaurant, Plaza Inn?
It's the same thing as the Plaza Inn at Disneyland World,
right?
right?
It's quick service, and the fantastic fried chicken.
Okay.
So if you don't get a reservation, now a lot of these had some weird hours, so just be aware of, pay attention to when things are opening and closing.
Okay. Ooh, gotta do great moments with Mr. Lincoln too.
Yes. Well, I mean,
you have to.
Ideally, it should be called okay moments.
Well, understood, but that's what started it all.
And right there is the park bench, or one of the park benches from Griffith Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they brought those in.
There's just one there. It's behind the rope, but
okay, I'm excited.
I believe
about
that one's from Tony Baxter's private collection.
Okay.
At one point it was. I don't know if it still is.
And I'm looking. Okay, so Star Tours, is that the exact same Star Tours as we've got?
Yeah, not the same layout, but the same ride.
Okay, so no need to do it. Astro Blaster, that's basically Space Rangers. Oh, it's different.
Different gun.
Oh, but it's the same ride.
Mostly.
Okay. My goal is anything that's the same ride.
There's no people mover.
Yeah. But anything that's the same ride, I'm not going to do.
If you really feel like it.
No, I don't.
Monorail, it's a different monorail.
So what's the point of the monorail at Disneyland?
It's an attraction, technically, and it also takes you to the far end of downtown Disney.
Okay.
It spits you out by the Lego store and kind of towards the Jazz Kitchen and the Disneyland Hotel. So if you were to go left out of the front of your the Grand Cal, you can kind of walk right in. It gets you back deeper in the park.
Right.
If you want to be.
Okay.
But hopping is no deal, dude. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's super weird. It's like IOA and Universal. So weird.
Oddly more convenient.
How is that more convenient? Okay.
Like I said, oddly more convenient.
All right. All right.
Maybe because it's straight across instead of basically a turn.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it.
They're facing each other.
All right, Terry. Well, we've hit your hour mark here.
Well, what else? What else do you not know, dude?
Well, I mean, there's a lot.
Soaring is probably. It was soaring over California. Check if it's soaring over California, do it for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's also
the Pixar coaster you got to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty
Um,
much everything at DCA I'll have to do. Anything
You
at
know, the wheel is like, the wheel, the
the
silly
Wheel of Death.
symphony swings, the jumping jellyfish. Those are ones you don't,
I want to
Goofy
do
Sky School, the Golden Zephyr. None of those are ones I feel like you have to do.
right.
Little Mermaid, I don't feel like you have to do. Cars Land, obviously.
Oh, everything at Cars Land.
The Guardians, the Web Slinger. You're going to want to do Avengers Campus during the day and at night.
Right. Okay. Okay. Good call.
Because Avengers Campus, you're going to want to go see the Spider-Man show on top of the building, which apparently he fell today.
I saw that. It wasn't him. It was the
Tech or something. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. There's no show at the Hyperion Theater right now, so I don't know. I love the animation experience there. Just hanging out in there. It's a good place to go inside.
right.
I love the Monsters ride. There's a giant Avengers store you'll probably want to do. There's 2 or 3 empty ride buildings over there that they have nothing in, which is crazy.
Here's a good one. Prioritize the rides that are different. Make sure to ride the ones that are the same but different, like Small World, and make sure to soak it all up because it's magical. There is, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I know Disneyland has a lot more rides, but they also have
Same number of attractions, less space.
right. But it's a lot of like dark rides, so it's a lot of quickie rides by what I've been seeing.
It's a good bit of e-tickets.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, Terry, one other thing that we need to talk about, and this is like your biggest pet peeve, I know, but we also got news that we'll be able to sit in our corner booth very soon, coming soon.
At a date to be named later.
Right. So do you want to stand on your grandstand about that?
Maybe we should all get like a GoFundMe going for the Disney executives for a calendar. That might be fun.
I'm okay with that.
That might be like a good gift. Like, what do you give for the Disney executive that has everything?
Hey, I'll give you a calendar and a bottle of bourbon. How's that?
Yeah.
Just get me my top of the world lounge back.
And then who knows? You're not going to be able to use it on certain day. I'm scared.
We don't know that yet.
Who knows? It'll be PG-13.
All right, Terry, take him home. You're tired.
No, man, I'm good. My tolerance and my patience for lack of excellence and lack of caring about the guest experience, I'm kind of done with it. And so it's time to get all of this stuff back and working. It's time to when's our D23 dates?
September.
I've got a real high expectations for September. We've had record profits the last few months. We better be spending some of that money on making on doing something to mitigate the park swelling that's happening right now. I'm going to throw it out there. I need an e-ticket and something that's a major entertainment offering that eats thousands and thousands of people, like the theater. And I don't need them to replace another attraction. Heck, I'd be happy if they just finished all the stuff they promised at the last D23.
You know, the only thing I'm really upset about that's not here yet is the Mary Poppins ride.
The Play Pavilion.
But there's some movement on that.
I mean, dude, I just looked at the Grand Californian map. Right behind Avengers Campus, there's a ride building in Avengers Campus that's empty. There's Stage 12, which is right by the big theater that there's nothing in right now. Next to that, there's a giant ride building that has a Avengers gift shop in it. I mean, those would all three hold massive attractions. All three of those would hold. There's enough ground space to put the Guardians to put a massive attraction.
That's true.
You could put Soarin', the new Guardians ride, and Tron all over that. You know, it's silly. It's just, and then Play Pavilion, Mary Poppins. Just come on, we need places for all these people to go. The problem is they've taken things away,
right,
and they've not put the stuff back, which is part of the problems of the parks seem overcrowded right now.
It doesn't seem. It is overcrowded.
Yeah, and they keep talking about how the park reservation, which it's time to end that nonsense. Although I know it's here to stay.
Yeah, it is.
Now, well, let me rephrase that. I'm fine with a reservation system, but if you buy a park hopper and you want to hop at 10:15, hop at 10:15.
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, that's the way park hopper tickets are. They're a significant upgrade if you're only going for one day.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I mean, that doesn't cost Disney anything. Park hopping doesn't cost Disney a penny to add, other than some transportation costs.
Right.
To moving people between the parks.
And even that, it's not bad.
So,
hey, Jeffrey, hold up. Yes, we are getting the Moana walkthrough. I mean, that will eat people up. I mean, I think that's going to be cool. I know my daughters will love it.
The what?
The Moana walkthrough. The water, world of water, or whatever it is.
The wonderful world of Italian water.
Yeah.
Yep. Logan just sent me his ride photo from Guardians.
Oh, I need to hear his thoughts.
Well, we'll have to listen to the next episode in a few weeks of WDW Today.
Or we should just bring him on Top of the World.
When are you going? Aren't you going soon? Aren't you coming to just back to?
I'll be down there in 10 days. So I'll let you know how it goes. And I'm going to drive out to the Cape and get to see the SLS rocket too. That's part of why we've rented a car this time. So it's on the launch pad.
What's taking off in the Cape?
The SLS rocket is on the launch pad.
What is is this the one that you're?
Yeah, it's Artemis. It's the one.
The Boeing.
No, it's NASA's. It's what, but Boeing is working on it.
Okay.
But it's Artemis, the one that's supposedly going to take us back to the moon here soon.
Oh. Not the Boeing craft that goes to.
Not the Boeing one that goes to the space station. No, the NASA one, the one with the two orange tanks and the big white thing in the middle.
Oh,
yeah, that's on the crawler. And we're going to take the family down to. We won't be able to go close to it, of course, but we'll be able to stand on the island where you can see it.
Can you get tickets to it?
No.
Why?
Well, I'm sure when they launch it, I'm sure I'll be able to try to get tickets to it.
No, go on there right now, and they sell passes to get pretty close, dude.
That's not a bad idea. But for this time, it's not for a launch. It's just it's on the crawler. They're doing a dress rehearsal, or they call it wet dress. And so we get to go out and like I said, it's people can actually see it in the distance. We're going to an island where we can see it in the distance, and just it's something cool. My wife and I both have had a very small hand in working on it, so it's cool to go down and see it stood up as it is now. Which I'm sure Amanda's going to walk in here and say, "You didn't even want to go do it to begin with." Which I didn't, because I would take away from Disney time and the time that I might be able to get on Guardians. But it is cool, and there's an island that has a lot of manatees. We're going to go down there as well.
Dude, I love that part of Florida. Go eat some seafood at least while you're there.
Maybe.
Okay, so this guy they got rid of. They got rid of 2 people at Disney today. One of them actually used to work somehow in the White House. I don't know who he worked for.
Whoa. Where'd you hear that?
The other guy that got fired today. But Peter Rice. Interesting.
Peter Rice is the guy that was supposedly going to take over.
But he was the CEO and chairman of Fox.
Ah, okay.
Logan said the ride is amazing.
Good
He's
to know.
not a big fan of the angle of which the digital photo gets you.
Tell Logan to work on his angles for pictures. Come on.
It's the ride photo.
That's true.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, dude, I think we'll call this a episode of Dave Goes to Disneyland and Bob fires everybody.
Come back next time where you might hear Terry Weaver or Dave Adams as the CEO of Disney.
Yeah, and if you're at the Braves game tomorrow night in Tourist Park, send me a wave. I'll be on the first base line.
This wave?
Yeah. I have not been back to Truist since opening weekend, so I'm excited to go see the world champion Atlanta Braves play in Truist Park.
Have fun at the old TP.
Yeah, and then Saturday night I'm going to see Coldplay. So fun little Atlanta weekend this weekend. It's not Disney. I do plan on checking and seeing if Art Smith Bourbon Bar is open this weekend.
That would be great. My wife's actually going to be in Atlanta this weekend too.
Yeah.
She's leaving me alone with the kids.
Is she going to the Braves game without you?
No, she's going to IKEA.
Well, we'll be at IKEA at some point this weekend too. My wife has informed me.
You might run into my wife then. If you do, if you see her with a big, huge buggy, tell her to put it back.
Put it back. You're not putting it together.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Somebody
my
just
wife
yelled,
knows
Amanda.
If we get it from IKEA, I suck at assembling all that stuff. Yeah. So we don't buy it.
Yeah. Amanda just yelled at something at me. I have my noise canceling headphones on, so I can't hear her. Sorry, honey.
Yeah. That's it. Yep. That's a marriage tip number 9. Get yourself a good pair of noise
canceling headphones. All right, Terry.
Hey, here for love and dating tips and how to run a Fortune 500 company from 2 good old boys who don't have any idea what they're doing. But do yourself a favor. Get yourself back to a Disney park soon. Get yourself on that Disney Plus. Watch you some Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi just sounds like he's from South Alabama, doesn't he?
He does.
You know, old Ben Kenobi's place.
except for that English accent he talks in.
Well, sure, but the name. I'm not talking about the accent. I'm just talking about the name. And Tatooine is kind of the lower Alabama of the
it definitely
galaxy
is.
Anyways.
Definitely.
Oh man. Well, dude,
I'll tell you,
Disney. When do you leave? How will you? We probably
we'll have another show by Disneyland, but because I'll be back from Disney World in in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you're going to Disneyland before you go to Disney.
No, I'll go to World before Land.
Okay, so we'll need to do a post. We'll do some trip reports.
Yep.
I need to get down to Orlando. I just hate going when it's this dang hot.
Well, I'll tell you how hot it is when I come back.
I saw how hot it was today, and I was sweating just looking at it. So
fun fact: I'm actually meeting up with one of our listeners. A Mr. Ben Harris will be from across the pond.
Yeah, they've let him out of the
They've let him back.
Pavilion.
So I'll be meeting up with Ben for the first time.
Well, there you go.
We're going to meet at Ohana and have some breakfast.
Oh, okay. Not my first meal choice at Ohana, but if you got a
that's when you have when you're trying to find a reservation for 7 people, you take what you get.
You've not done a character back since, have you?
Oh, well, no, I haven't. This is the trip we're going for the girls to hug characters.
Yeah. Okay, and that's like in a week or two.
That is Father's Day weekend.
So that's coming up right next weekend.
Yeah, it is.
So it'll be like the airplane. It's like, have you ever seen a grown man cry? That's what it's gonna be that whole weekend.
You will see that a bunch.
Yeah. On the on Dave's new grown men crying TikTok channel. So, well, guys, thanks for listening to the show. We always appreciate it. We appreciate that you notice when we're gone. Maybe some of you don't. By some of y'all who leave comments on this show still don't understand that you can unsubscribe from a podcast you don't like. and if you did like the podcast before, man, are you gonna hate this episode? Hey, keeping the haters disappointed is just one of the services we like to provide here at Top of the World, the DVC podcast. And maybe we'll be a little less grumpy when we can get together, Dave and I, back in the corner booth. But until then, we'll see you on the next episode of Top of the World.
Bye, y'all.